Hello everybody, this is Gregory with 5-Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about qualities that I would look for in a wife. Now before we begin, let's start with a prayer. Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti, Amen. Gloria Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et seculi seculorum. Amen. This is an episode that's really good for you to post in the comments to tell me what you're looking for in a respective spouse. I understand that some of you are not interested in marrying, and I'm not saying that I'm necessarily interested in marrying, but if I was going to marry, these are some traits that I'd be looking for if I'm on a dating site. Okay, so number one, we've talked about this in the past. If I'm on Match, and I'm not, I'm on Catholic Match. If any of you guys want to message, because I know there's some of you girls who watch these videos, you like to little flirt and all that. You can find me on Catholic Match, but believe me, you don't want to be a stepmom. I got kids, and most women want to pass that cup, as Christ said in the garden. But if I was on Match or eHarmony and I see that you're a Catholic, but you write in the profile that you're looking for a good Christian man, I'm out. Because what you're essentially saying is that you're willing to forsake your faith for a man. Know them by their fruits. So no, I would want to see in your profile what I write in my profile. I'm a Catholic. I'm only looking for a Catholic. If you've been divorced, you need to have an annulment. Okay, I need to show some proof, or you need to show some proof that you're actually proud of your faith. And I know in this time it's hard, but again, that's what separates the weeds from the wheat. What else would I want to see? Similar values are important. Look, I'm a traditionalist. I'm not a sedevacanist, but I am a traditionalist. So I would look, and I look from Catholic Match, and you have different filters. I filter for political conservatives because I am a political conservative, staunch social conservative, and a political conservative. So I'd be looking for that. It'd be stupid for me to want to be with an atheist or a radical leftist woman. Go to the episode, There's No Such Thing as a Liberal Catholic. But we would fight all the time. So similar values are important. So I am a traditionalist. I like solemn masses. So I would prefer somebody that doesn't really like the Novus Ordo regular masses, so someone who's Eastern Rite or Ordinary of Church of St. Peter or a TLM. I'll be looking for something for similar values, right? It makes sense. It'd be somebody that prays, that has in their profile that they have an active prayer life. So they're doing the rosary every day. Maybe they go to daily mass. These are important because it's a testimony to their faith. Maybe they're tithing their time, like I've mentioned in that video. Tithe your time. You should be immersed in something Catholic for 2 hours a day. You can do it. I like it when they write in their profile, my job is to get you into heaven. And on one level, it's true. I mean, it's really your own job, but you want a spouse that isn't going to be a false prophet. You want a spouse that is going to accentuate your strengths and minimize your temptations. And we all have temptations, right? The sin of concupiscence, we all received it from the fall of Adam and Eve. So somebody who puts that, like that they know that the onus is on them to get you into heaven, or to help you get into heaven. What else? Somebody who believes in the indissolubility of marriage. I think we should all be looking for that, right? Yeah, you know what? I might divorce you. And look, statistically, and I've talked about this in the past, women initiate divorce 70 to 90% of the time. And in fact, if the woman's college educated in a divorce, 90% of the time she initiates it. And it would be a little of a red flag if you were divorced at annul, because especially if you initiated it, which statistically you might have done that, because it sets the precedent. Like if you had no problem initiating divorce on the first husband, what makes me think that you wouldn't do it on me? You've already established that precedent. So I would be a little concerned. Your pictures. Let's have up-to-date pictures. I think, both sexes, but I think women do this more. It's going to be deceptive if a guy shows up to a date and the pictures are not what you look like anymore. I get it. We all get older. I get gray hair right here. We all get a little rounder. I get it. But it's duplicitous to post old photos of yourself and then you meet somebody and they don't look like that. Also, in your photos, what do we look for? What are they wired for? Go to that episode we did. Obviously, the number one, and this is the way we're wired, is looks, attractiveness. But number two is virtue. So in your pictures, if you're wearing Daisy Dukes or you're wearing the clavage to show off your décolletage and all this, no, I'd rather you be in these long dresses, maybe wearing a veil. Again, these are signs of virtue. And of course, this could all be virtue signaling. You could be a values chameleon and all that, right? There could be bait and switches all the time. But at least the pictures would demonstrate something like that. What else? Somebody who understands that marriage is difficult. You're going to go through months, if not years, of not liking your spouse. Maybe you don't even love them. This goes back to the indissolubility of marriage. You stick it through. We have that episode here how romanticism destroyed marriage in the 21st century. And it's true, this idea like, you're supposed to make me feel like this, and this, and this, and this all the time. Well, you're not going to feel that. That's impossible. So it's somebody who has kind of like a realistic view of marriage. My job is to help you get to heaven. My job is to help you with your prayer life, to encourage you to do your works of mercy. But I understand there's going to be times I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way you snore. But I'm never leaving you. Now, of course, there's always the like physical abuse and all these. And the church has always said you can always separate. You just can't remarry unless you have an annulment. Go to those episodes on Christian remarriage. But aside from the extreme cases, I think the way family law and the divorce system is set up, it almost incentivizes divorce in terms of the financial kickback that some people get. So somebody who believes, I'm not going to fall out of love with you, and even if I do, I'm not leaving you because it's not good for the kids and it's not Christ-like, right? So somebody, again, who believes in the indissolubility of marriage. What else? Traditional gender norms. I mean, this is important. I mean, you see this played out in all the New Testament epistles, especially in Ephesians, 1 Corinthians, where they talk about it. Men need to be masculine, women should be feminine. Men are the natural leaders. Doesn't mean that we don't defer to women sometimes. Men and women complement each other and they have their own particular strengths, especially when a man is masculine and a woman is feminine, and they're not trying to do the cultural Marxist thing where they've effeminized men and masculinized women. But you each know your role. But, in the military, there is a chain of command. You can have too many cooks in the kitchen and there's fighting. The man is the leader, but he needs to be a good leader with an informed conscience. If not, he can abuse that position. He listens to the advice of his wife, and ultimately sometimes defers to her if it's something that's her strength, let's say in child rearing or something like that. But ultimately, she listens to the husband, and the husband makes the decision, and the wife abides by it and is obedient. It talks about in Ephesians. Now, yes, this is very controversial now in the 21st century that we live, the whole idea of obedience. But, I'd rather like defer to, 1,900 years of Christian tradition, of traditional gender roles working. Yes, they can be abused, but they typically work. So I'd be looking for somebody like that. If the woman is still fertile, she doesn't contracept. It's a grave moral sin to contracept, so she needs to be open to life no matter what. Now, some of you might be asking, Gregory, what about looks? I don't really care. I mean, there's a couple of things. Keeping your weight down is a sign that you care about yourself and you care about your health. And I used to be morbidly overweight. I think I talked about in the Gregory 101 video. I used to be morbidly overweight. I was 280 pounds. I'll put a picture. 280 pounds when I was 16, but I lost over 100 pounds and I've kept it off 30 years. So it is important to try to stay in shape. I don't expect a woman to look at 50 that she looked at 21, but I would say that there is an understanding that both you try to take care of your body, because we're supposed to be stewards of our body and we treat it with respect. So that's something that I would kind of be looking for. In terms of height, I don't really care. I'm 6'2", so if you're tall, that's great. If you're short, I don't really care. And that's really, I don't care about hair color. I don't really care about that, because look, no doubt, I mean, we're visual creatures. So what you look like might attract me to you, or will attract me to you, because men are physical, visual creatures. But it's not going to make me fall in love with you. They say women are the gatekeepers of sex, but men are the gatekeepers of relationships. So this will get me to the date, but it's this and this, your intelligence, your heart, your virtue, that will get me to fall in love with you. So just remember that, and I think we all know that. So these are some things. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things. Please post in the comments. What are you looking for, you women, you men? For you men, if you agree with what I'm saying, if there's a couple things that you think I forgot, please add in the comments. Guys, please hit the notifications, subscribe and share button, share with like-minded people. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.